Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava Hetum Tesham Tathagato Yavatat Tesham Chayo Nirodha Evam Adi Mahashramanaye Swaha. Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava Hetum Tesham Tathagato Yavatat Tesham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vadi Mahashramanaye Swaha. Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava Hetum Tesham Tathagato Yavatat Tesham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vadi Mahashramanaye Swaha.
Okay, this morning we were doing the 4 essentials. The first one, essential of identical negation. Once having identified what object negation is, that something existing objectively. Even after learning about these things, there's objective existence, something existing independent of the projected mind and so forth, still what we understand of the object negation may not be too clear. Don't worry too much about that. What we do is that we follow these 4 essentials, and then meanwhile, as long as you get a feeling that what I'm seeing from there, what I'm seeing is not really there. If you get this much of feeling, it's good enough. Then you can refine on this. And you keep studying more, reflect more, meditate more. Then even the identification of object negation becomes clearer. It's not that the right from the beginning object negation becomes very clear to you, and then the following rejections is not that easy. Okay, so the point is just it's a continuous journey, and it's a very interesting journey. Meanwhile, keep this mind, this interesting journey. And the point is we need little stamina to carry on this journey. Study more, keep studying more, keep reflecting more, and then meditate more. And then in some cases you can experience some experience. And then again there are 2 things. One, say that when you don't get experience you feel so demoralized. When you get real experience you're so excited. Again, this is a problem. So excited you think that this is emptiness. No, emptiness is a continuous journey. It's initially you get a feeling that what objects appear to me, they don't exist that way. And to guarantee that what I'm seeing is not really that way, this is the feeling that you get. And keep studying more, keep reflecting more. This is advice given by Lama Tsongkhapa. Lama Tsongkhapa advice that don't feel complacent. In some cases you can get experience of some vacuity or emptiness, and it is because we talked about the 5 layers of emptiness, you may get somewhere. And then if you think that I got it, then you will never improve further. The emptiness is a very subtle phenomenon, and if you don't get it, it is better on you, finally you are loser. Okay, so this is a continuous journey, keep this in mind. And the journey of emptiness is like, so going from one place, for example in India, if you go from north to the south, you will see that you are bound to encounter the various landscapes. Likewise, emptiness is a journey that you begin with, you get some experience, you continue with this, and you get a deep experience. It's a continuous experience, a continuous journey. that you every time you get it deeper and deeper and deeper, and sometimes it can be a little demoralizing, or where you get stuck there and then you don't get anywhere. Okay, under this situation, what will be done? That is a different matter. For the time, what we're learning is the how to get emptiness, and then how to take it forward. Okay. For that, what we learned is that, for example, the body that we have is made of 6 elements or 5 aggregates. Likewise, this flower is made of billions and trillions of atoms. Likewise, for example, say if you are fond of cheesecake is also made of billions of atoms. Likewise, the house, the God by which we are now, is also made of billions of atoms. And in fact, almost like the tangible phenomena, they're all made of billions of atoms. And our mind is made of just innumerable tiny the segments of the temporal segments of the mind. Okay, with this mind, what's the second essential?
Essential of understanding the emptiness of the object being one with its parts.
Essential of understanding the emptiness of the objects being one with its parts. Very good. Okay. So for this essential, what we do is that first I would relate this with what NASA company did. NASA company, what it did was just a leaf, 1 foliage of leaf, one piece of leaf from a bush, it focused on one leaf. So from this leaf, it goes into the macro world. Here this possibility for the projectors there.
Might be possible.
Okay. If there's a possibility, then we will see to get a projector and the screen. No, screen is fine. The projector is more important. Screen we can use anywhere. Okay. If you can watch it on a bigger scale, would be more effective. So what it does is that from the bush, it picks up 1 foliage of a leaf, Then from there it goes to the macro from the bush, then to the city, the whole lawn, then to the city, and then the whole America, then the whole world, then the whole solar system, then the Milky Way galaxy, and then the whole universe. This is how it goes from the foliage to the macro world. 1. And yes, okay, this is what it is. What it was doing was a reality. It was not just the faking. It's a reality. Then from the macro, it goes into the macro, from the universe to the Milky Way galaxy, to the solar system, to the Earth, to the America, to this particular city, to the foliage, to the lawn, to the foliage, to this tiny foliage. Then into the macro, from the foliage to the cells, then into the nucleus, into the chromosomes, into the DNA molecules, then into the atoms. Okay, this is how it goes into the macro. Our life, quality of life. We say, oh, she's a happy person, he is a happy person, I'm happy, I'm not happy. These are all determined by, and in fact, why we need all these things like AC, the food, the cars, and the traffic lights, and all the government systems, So why do we need all these things? Is for our feelings. Do you agree with me? For our feelings, because when the population is growing, and then the people engage in all the nasty things. To stop that, we need somebody to control that. That is the government. And the government, for that to be very effective, then the democracy, there is known as the 3 pillars of the democracy. Finally, to make sure that the individual people, they are happy. This is the idea. Do you agree with me or not? It's very important. Let us not take for granted that, oh, yes, there's a government there, we need AC, we need food, we need a spacious place, we need clean air, no global warming. Let us not take for granted. Why we are talking about the global warming? What's the problem with this global warming? So finally, what's the problem? The ecology. Some people, they are the environmental activists. Why they are fighting for the environment? Why? And the animal activists. Why? And for example, what's that? The International Amnesty International. Why? So we see that they're all related to the individuals' feelings. This is what we need to explore. We never talk about these things. And of course, if you go into for example, okay, like the judiciary and so forth, and you will learn these things. But if you think very seriously, we say somehow they're connected to the individuals. And even individuals' feelings, that is where they place the important. Now, the feelings, do you agree with me? That the feelings which governs the individual, okay, whether to come to Kalachakra Center or not, whether to take the dinner or not. How many skip dinners? Me? Okay. See, there are several people. Okay. Sophie skips dinner. Okay. And Thomas skip dinner. Oh no. Sophie, Susanna, Kunjana, me, Virginia, anybody else? Skip dinner? Okay. Right? So the point is, what I'm saying is that all these things what we're doing, we have to have the breakfast, good breakfast. Somehow they are all related to the feelings. With this, just see, we say, in other words, the world in which we live, the samsaric beings are determined by, moved. This morning what we learned was that our mental functions decide who we are. Do you agree with me or not? Our mental functions. Okay, what do you mean by laziness? For example, okay, let's say the lid is here, and then there are the insects there, and I know that if the lid is, if it is covered by the lid, then it will remain good. And then, but I'm lazy to put it on. Just tell me what is happening in my mind. What is this laziness? Laziness means that I know that it has to go there, but I'm not doing it. Why I'm not doing it?
It creates unpleasant feelings to think about.
Yes, this unpleasant feeling, the mere thought of I have to lift it up and put it there, unpleasant feeling comes. You getting it? So this unpleasant feeling forbids me from moving there. Whereas, look, this is how our mind works. It's amazing. Whereas, if I could see that, oh, this juice is very helpful to my health. I'm so health conscious. I'm extremely health conscious, and juice is very good for to make my mind sharp, like this. Then that overrides the unpleasant feeling of having to work. So overall, net is pleasant feeling is there. With a pleasant feeling, it makes me move here. getting it? This is how all the actions are determined by the feelings. This is very important. And Bodhisattva Shanidev in his book, Guided Bodhisattva the Spirit of Life, this is so beautifully presented, particularly chapter 6, Healing Anger. So the practice of patience. He's so beautiful. But then the way I'm describing now, so like spoon feeding, you will not find it there. Right? But if you're able to understand from a bigger picture, what I'm saying is precisely stated in the end. Yes, Virginia 19.
I have a question.
Yes.
You say that it's unpleasant feeling, but can't it be just the habit of the mind?
Okay, this is a good question. Is it, instead of the feeling, can it be a habit also? Did you follow what Virginia is saying? Do you follow that? Okay, feeling is one thing, that we agree. Along with the feeling, it can be also a habit. Okay, this is an interesting discussion. How many of you think that this also makes sense? Habit. It's not only the feelings, it can be also the habits which determine whether you do not do so. Makes sense?
I don't think one contradicts the other necessarily.
Or they may not contradict each other. Okay. Okay, what is this? Sneezing. Habit or feelings? Huh?
Allergie.
And instinct or involuntary bodily reaction? Involuntary bodily reaction? All of the feelings determines you have to sneeze? Or no, it's just involuntary? What is this? Or habit? Dependent originated? Dependent originated, guaranteed it is 100% dependent originated. But what kind of dependent origination? Do the dependence on the habits? Or dependence on the feelings? Or dependence on the natural reaction? Okay, if my body is a corpse, and this factor arises, irritation comes, automatically you sneeze? No, you will not sneeze. Right? Even though whatever irritation comes, the worms inside or whatever, right? No sneeze will happen. You are getting it? Okay. So this is a very serious discussion. In fact, all these questions are so helpful. This was not too recently when I was in Israel. I was staying with a couple. One who was the one important, the member of the Buddhist society, and her husband. Husband is a scientist, physicist. And the husband, he is very brilliant. And he's also practicing keyboard, the music. And we were, how many of five of us, we were gathering. Two of my friends from India, and then the husband and wife, the scientist and wife. So, five of us. And he was talking about his pure exercise. And he said that this is amazing. What he said was that initially how the fingers move, initially it was with awareness, that you should be aware. I should pick up this finger, press this finger, press that finger, press this button, press this keyboard, the key. After a while, when you learn it, then you don't have to think. You don't need awareness. It is automatic. It becomes habit. So this movement may not be out of feelings or out of, say, the awareness. It can be because of habit. This is what he said. Okay, what Virginia said now, it can be because of the habit also. What do you mean by habit?
Repetition.
Repetition, yes. The repetition, what happens is that, for example, say, to speak a language, In fact, what the scientists noticed was exactly what I noticed when I was practicing playing flute. When I was very young, before becoming monk, I used to play flute. And initially when I was practicing this, I have to be so mindful and be aware which finger to lift, which finger to press, so forth. After a while, when you become good at it, then I was just observing which mind is working. I cannot distinguish. The fingers, they flow very automatically. I was so fascinated. It's because of the habit. Okay. So the scientist said that it's purely automatic. This is his word. Purely automatic, doesn't require awareness, feelings, whatever, it doesn't require that. So this, is it true or not? My answer is yes, it's true. But, as Howard said, these two are not contradictory. What we call is automatic and dependence on the feeling. These two are not contradictory. There is no contradiction there. Whereas he is explaining this as a contradictory. Initially you need awareness, but later on you don't know the awareness. You don't need awareness. It's just automatic, is what he said. So, and he's a scientist. He will not accept things. Okay, listen, no, this is not correct. Okay, then what is that? He will not listen like this. He's a scientist. He will accept only if you explain that he feels, yes, that's true. Okay, so I said that that's very true. I personally had the same experience. I shared this with him. Then I told him that, okay, day one, to press the finger with key 1, key A, to press the finger, it may take you 1 second. Okay, this finger should be pressed. Then day 3, it may take you half a second. It's faster. This awareness is a little faster, half a second. So what is happening is your fingers will not exercise. This awareness is exercise. This awareness is become faster. Then day 5, 1/4 of a second. It's so fast. Day 7, 1/10 of a second. It's so fast. And this you think that is automatic. It's not automatic. It's the awareness is there. Awareness is so exercised that it becomes the duration of the awareness has become so short, from like one second to like 1/20th of a second. It has become the duration of the awareness has become very short, and you think it's automatic. So when I explained like this, he was very happy. He was very happy. Okay. So what I'm saying is that the Bodhisattva, he said that there's nothing in this world which will not become easy through familiarization, habit. There's nothing in this world which will not become easy through habituation. What is meant by habit? Okay, what happens is that first, to run. We never run for about, like, say, the whole 1 year. And then you start, hey, you have to do exercise, you have to run. Okay, we run. We run just half a kilometer. It's very tiring. It's very tiring. And then what is the habit? Habit is repetition. So you repeat it next time. You repeat it 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. Then half a kilometer is very easy. Right? Easy. What do you mean by easy? Easy means you run half a kilometer, there's a feeling of ease. Earlier, the feeling of dis-ease. The first time feeling of unease is there. Feeling of unease to run. Then after about 10, 20 attempts, then feeling of ease comes. Feeling of ease comes. Right? It becomes easy. After 10 or 20 times of the same practice, half a kilometer is very easy. Some people, they run 100 kilometers. I know my friend in Israel. He runs 120 kilometers in 22 hours. 120 kilometers, believe it or not. In 22 hours. Just continuously. Yeah. So what I'm saying is that for us to run half a kilometer, first time is very unease, very uncomfortable, so painful. You do it constantly for about 20 times in like 1 month, Then you run then you run like 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers. Then somebody says, hey, now you run half kilometer. Half a kilometer is very easy. Easy means the word easy is ease. What is my ease? Ease means there's a pleasant feeling coming now. Earlier, unpleasant feeling coming. Because of this habituation, what earlier used to be unpleasant, it has become pleasant now. Right? So that pleasant feeling makes you feel like running. Make it very easy.
The motivation is one of the components factors.
Okay, so what contributes to make it easy? Okay, that's true. What contributes to make it easy? There are many factors. Many factors. One, somebody says you run and you'll be very healthy, you'll have a very nice body, you live long. Motivation. So triggering the motivation. And then you also have the good shoes, sports shoes. Whereas if you don't have good sports shoes, you run and then all these pebbles, right? They prick your feet and don't feel like running. Good sports shoes pebble will not prick you, you feel like running. And it's not hot. It's very pleasant, cool air, it feels like running, right? And other people also run, it makes you even feel like running more, right? And it's only you, everywhere cars running so fast, you don't feel like running. Right? There are many factors. Okay, good. What are we talking? Virginia 18 was?
Yes, and the pleasant, the pleasant feelings.
Okay. So why? Yes. Okay. So the point is that laziness, for example, laziness because of the unpleasant feelings. Feelings decides our actions, right? Feeling decides that. The habits make things very easy for you. Habit means making things easy for you. Means easy means ease is coming to you. Ease. What is ease? A pleasant feeling. You're getting it? Habits make things easy. Easy means ease. Ease means pleasant feeling.
Sometimes our habits, though, make us feel bad. We have bad habits like smoking, and many people don't want that. So there are other reasons that we do things, though.
Very good. Again, very good discussion. Okay, before you're smoking, right? You already have a bad habit. Then the feeling of pleasant feeling comes with the prospect of smoking. Pleasant feeling comes, right? And then that pleasant feeling makes you to smoke. After smoking, then you start regretting. Unpleasant feeling comes, then you start regretting. Whereas if the pleasant feeling continues, you will not regret. Why the unpleasant feeling is coming? Because of depends on many other factors. Now you have already spoken. You have already smoked. Now what is left? That health issues and so forth. All this what you've learned earlier, they will become very prominent. Earlier, that pleasant feeling of smoking, that stops you from thinking these ideas. When that is already done, then earlier the other thoughts will come in. Oh no, it's so bad. Then the unpleasant feeling comes in there. This is how and the unpleasant feeling, then somebody says, hey, smoke now. You say no. Alright? Okay, wait for another 2 days or 1 day. Again, the pleasant feeling of the prospect, that will stop the other thoughts from coming. Again, the prospect of happy, the pleasant feeling at the prospect of smoking. Again, arises. Again, you grab at the smoke. It's a vicious cycle. Okay, good. So what we are saying is that all feelings are determined, all our movements are determined by the feeling. That we should be convinced. Bad habits, good habits, all are determined by the feelings. Now, the feelings are determined by Yes, discrimination, right? Okay, act of smoking is the intention to smoke. Intention to smoke is coming because of the pleasant feeling with the prospect of smoking. So that intention is driven by the feeling. And the feeling is driven by the discrimination. You're getting it? Okay, let's see how the discriminations are giving rise to the feelings. Let us see. Ready? Ready? Nothing to do with drinking juice. He must be thinking again, what he must be doing. Okay, let's say the flower. Let's say the flower. Just see. What are we discussing?
Discrimination feelings.
Don't just say discrimination. Be very precise. What did I say?
Our feeling comes from discrimination.
Huh?
Our feelings comes from discrimination.
Exactly. Wow. Next time you come out there, it's okay. Okay, how the feelings are triggered by the discrimination. You are getting it? Discrimination doesn't mean that the gender discrimination, racial discrimination. It has nothing to do with that sort. It's only about distinguishing things. Distinguishing things. Oh, this is a flower. This is good. This is bad. Oh, this is house. This is my friend. This is my enemy. Oh, this is a house. Oh, this is a flower. So forth. Just to discriminate things. And discrimination can be correct, can be not correct. To the feelings. Let's see. Let's say you like the flower so much. And you have never seen very beautiful flowers for the last a few months, and you crave to see fresh flowers. You're always seeing the fake flowers all the time. And suddenly you see a real flower, very fresh, tender flower. Okay, look at this. Look at this. Okay, now, after looking at this, I'm going to keep it here. I'm not going to... Okay, I'm going to keep it there. I'm not going to even move it. I'm going to keep it there. Do you all see this flower? Isabel, do you see this? You're tall, you can see it from distance. Yes, okay. Now let's say, this same object, how this same object will give rise to three different feelings. Pleasant feeling, unpleasant feeling, and neutral. How the same object will give rise to three different feelings. Right? Okay. When you don't analyze anything, when you just go like the usual, or what do you call it, normal, usual, the way of life, normal way of life, oh, this is a flower, they're finished, you don't analyze any further. But if you analyze, you see that the same object has the capacity to give rise to three different feelings, therefore three different emotional states. One. Okay. Look at it through naked eyes. What do you see? What do you see? Flower. Okay. What do you see means I'm asking what is your discrimination? Discrimination of a flower. Okay, now I will not ask you feeling. I will ask you what is your emotional state. Emotional state is determined by the feelings. Oh, I feel elated, I feel low. Low means unpleasant feeling. Elated means pleasant feeling. Okay, what is your emotional state to see this flower? It's very appealing, uplifting. Uplifting, appealing means pleasant feelings coming. So, with the discrimination of a flower, a beautiful flower, there's an appealing feeling coming to you. Do you agree with me? Good. Now I'm not going to touch this object. I'm going to keep the object as it is. As it is. And then I will ask you to look at it through electron microscope. I'll ask you to look at it through electron microscope and keep fine-tuning the electron microscope. Keep fine-tuning the electron microscope. You see that initially what we see as a very tender, okay, this is fine. Yeah, this looks tender. Otherwise, these flowers, okay, they look so tender, beautiful. Okay, the same object, through fine-tuning the electron microscope, you see that, initially you see what we say is tender is not at all tender. What we say as tender is not at all tender. This is just a deception of our eyes. What is really there, you start to see the cracks, the dry muds. The dry muds, what is that? In some of the drought place where hit by the drought, what's the land like? Cracks. Exactly, it's like that. You start to see the cracks. What is these cracks? These are the divides between the cells. These are divides between the cells. And then you through further fine-tuning the electron microscope, you see that cells are so visible. The flower disappears. What you earlier saw of flowers, just a perception. Now what you're seeing is closer to this object. You see that the flower disappears. And you see the cells, very prominent cells. The cells that you are seeing, are they really there, or they are just your exaggeration? Are they cells or not? Yes, they are cells. They are cells. They are not an exaggeration. But now, which of the cells is beautiful? None of the cells is beautiful. None of the cells is beautiful. And the cells, you go further, you see the nucleus of the cell. Nucleus of the cell. For further fine-tuning the electron microscope, you start to see the chromosomes. And the chromosomes, they are very repulsive to look at. They are like the brownish snakes, striped brownish snakes. They are like this. It's very repulsive to look at. Okay, first follow what I'm saying. Don't think of anything else. Oh, this contradicts with this. Earlier he said like this. Earlier what I'm. Don't think of anything else. Just follow the instruction. Just follow this instruction. Once the instruction is finished, then I will give you a chance to speak. Then you can think, correlate with what I said with anything else. For the time being, if you don't pay attention to what I'm saying, instead you're trying to correlate with other things, you will miss a lot of points. Okay. So then you see the same object. You see the brownish striped chromosomes. Okay. Now imagine that you're looking at this brownish striped chromosomes. Okay, what are you seeing? I'm seeing the chromosomes. What is the emotional reaction? The repulsion comes to mind. Just imagine. Okay, now, like if there's a snake moving like this, what is your feeling coming? Of course, I'm not saying that snakes are very bad. This is not what I'm saying. I'm saying, what is the natural reaction? In most cases, it's the repulsion will come to you, aversion will come to you. It's not because of the problem of the snakes, it's because of the problem of yourself. Right? Okay. So, repulsion comes. Now what happens? Earlier, the same object gives rise to such a pleasant feeling. Now it gives rise to repulsion. Same object gives rise to repulsion in you. Okay. This is not enough. Even this repulsion is also because of what discrimination? Discrimination of the snake-like chromosomes. Even this discrimination is also not correct, it's deceptive. How? You further fine-tune the electron microscope, you see that this, what you see as the chromosome, is nothing but made of the DNA molecules, which are made of the atoms. Okay, now what do you see? You see just a pool of atoms. Okay, now what are you seeing? What is the discrimination? The pool of atoms. What is the emotional reaction? Pleasant? Unpleasant? Neutral. Now the neutral comes. Now look, the same object, how you look at it, at one point it gives you a very pleasant feeling. And at another time it gives a very unpleasant feeling. And still at another time it gives you a neutral feeling. You getting it? Okay. This is how the feelings are determined by the perception. What made you have the pleasant feeling when you see this flower? In the first case, what made you get this pleasant feeling? Because of the discrimination of a beautiful flower. Do you agree with me or not? Okay. So that the pleasant feeling was coming because of the discrimination of the beautiful flower. The object has nothing to do with that. Next, second time, you have a very unpleasant feeling coming to you. Why the unpleasant feeling coming to you now? With the same object, because of the discrimination of the repulsive snake-like chromosomes. Do you agree with me or not? Do you agree with me or not? Very good. Now in the third case, the same object gives rise to a neutral feeling. Why a neutral feeling is coming to you now because of the discrimination of the billions of atoms, which is nothing, which is not attractive, no repulsive. The same object is the same object. Same object with your three different perceptions, three different emotional states are given rise to, three different feelings are given rise to. And these three different feelings will make you to move in a different way. When you see, when you look at the discrimination of a flower, what feeling comes to you? Pleasant feeling comes to you. This pleasant feeling gives rise to what? Hey. Intention. So when the pleasant feeling comes, you want this pleasant feeling for seeing that object. You want to have it. Intention will go to have it. Pull. Involuntary pull happens. Now, when you change the perception, seeing this as the repulsive chromosomes, seeing this as a snake-like repulsive chromosomes, then the unpleasant feeling comes. So this unpleasant feeling gives rise to what kind of intention? Intention to go away from it. Go away. Go away means pushed. Involuntary push. Involuntary push happens. So all I'm saying, you are in the same home, right? Let's say the parents and children, husband and wife, right? Husband and wife. The morning you wake up, you have to see the face, and very unpleasant feeling comes, right? You just want to, yeah, you like a cup of tea, okay, right? So a very unpleasant feeling comes, and then when this unpleasant feeling comes, automatically you don't want to say the energy, intention to act very actively stops, right? This is how it works. This is how it works. So the point is that if you know this psychology, how this intention to keep yourself very active is because of the feelings. Feelings is determined by the discrimination. And discrimination, you can change. You can change the discrimination. So with the same object, you can look at the same object in three ways. As a flower, as chromosomes, or as the atoms. The same object, you can see it as water, you can see it as H2O, you can see the electron presence neutrons. That's in your hand. Okay. Okay, look at the other person sitting next to you, very quick. Look at the other person sitting next to you. Wow, now very serious all of you. Particularly Mike is very serious. Wow. Okay. So look, how many of you in your life, is it true that the other person that you're looking at has this particular, the shape and face? The person that you're looking at, the person has a particular shape that makes you smile? Yes, no? Yes. One. Number two, do you agree with me that the same person who made you smile is nothing but a bunch of atoms? Do you agree with me or not? Huh?
No.
No, it's a bunch of atoms, the same face. I'm not talking about the person, I'm talking about the face of that person. It's a bunch of atoms. The person I know, you're talking about mind. This face is nothing but a bunch of atoms. Do you agree with me or not?
Yes.
How many of you in your life, you look at the other person's face, seeing it as a bunch of atoms? How many times you did that in your life? We never did it. We always look at it as a person. Nice, not nice. This is what all the mental turbulence arises. All the mental turbulence arises because we look at it only from one angle, only from one discrimination. With this discrimination, what is happening is that what you are seeing is actually what your mind is projecting it. Because from the object, there cannot be three different opposite characteristics. Three different opposite, say, the entities. But We can see the same object in three different ways, like as a person's face, as a bunch of atoms. These two are very contradictory. As a person's face, it's very pleasant. As a bunch of atoms, it's very neutral. And as a bunch of the chromosomes, it's very repulsive. And as a bunch of fatty tissues, remove the skin, it's a fatty tissues, very scary. Right? And the two eyeballs come like this. It's even more scary, right? And the skeleton, just in the night, skeleton walks like this, come to you. It's so scary. And this is a fact. Actually, a bunch of skeletons are here. One skeleton's here. Some skeletons are the chair. Some skeletons are sitting down. That's true. Just think of that. It's true. It's very true. We never saw like this. We never thought of like this. Well, this is reality, right? So what we see is that what is really there is a bunch of atoms, and then our mind projects a person there. We project as a person there. One. Number two, we are unaware that we're projecting. Number two. Then number three, we see it's objectively real. Then you start smiling. If you know that it's coming from a mind, you will never smile. Okay, now tell me. Okay, once more, look at the other person. Look at the other person. Naturally, don't force yourself. Look, Howard is looking at very forcefully. Look at very naturally. Very naturally look at the other person very naturally. Very naturally. Don't look at the other person's bunch of atoms. Jane is looking at the bus as a bunch of atoms. I can see that. No, don't look at the other person as a bunch of atoms. Just see the person in a very natural way, in whatever way it comes to your mind. Okay, very good. Most of you are having a very nice smile. Okay, thank you. Okay, now, close your eyes. Close your eyes and think of the same person. Think of the same person. Think of the same person who made you smile. Okay, open your eyes. Nobody's smiling now. Right? First time you have the vision of the same person. Now when you think about it, you have the same vision of the same person. In the first case, you invariably smile. In the second case, you do not smile. Why? Tell me. Why? Tell me.
Doesn't feel as real.
Yes, in the second case, it's not real. What do you mean by it's not real? What do you mean by it's not real? Which means that what I'm seeing is just my mental imagination. It's just coming from a mind. When you know that it's coming from a mind, you will not smile. When you know that it's coming from a mind, you will not smile. Yes.
Why not?
Okay. No, so why not? There's this, they say, why did you not smile? No, you just, I was watching you. No. You think of the person who made you smile. Close your eyes. Close your eyes and think of the person who made you smile. Okay, everybody look at her. Everybody look at Virginia. Virginia, close eyes. Close eyes. Now she knows that everybody's looking at me. She knows that. So therefore she's smiling now. Why is she smiling now? Not because thinking of the person. She's thinking of everybody else watching me. Right? So when you think about that person, you will not smile. If you smile, it is time for us to take you to mental hospital. Yeah, that's true.
But when we think of someone we like, we smile, and it's just a thinking.
You smile and you talk to them. You smile and talk, it starts to
Because it's a pleasant, because
I know what you're saying. I know you're saying it. That's true. Okay. So for Virginia, what I like to say is that, but who was that person who you looked at and made you smile? Okay, how did you smile? Tell me. How did you smile? No, there is big smile, right? Big smile. Okay, now think of Virginia 18. Close your eyes and think of Virginia 18. The big smile, small, stopped. I can see that. You're getting it? Small smile may be there, but the big smile stopped. So that is because you know that now what's coming to my mind is what my mind is creating. It's not really from there.
But isn't it because you are interacting with the other person and just looking at the person, because you are in interaction with the person?
No, don't interact.
Even without interacting,
Yeah.
you know that the other person is in front of you, and so it's something natural because you like the person.
You should just imagine you are interacting with the person. Imagine that you are interacting with the person. I'll see, what are you doing? Again, you're not smiling. You can imagine interacting with the person, you like the person, imagine I like it, still you will not smile. Knowing that is purely mental imagination, coming from mind. Yes, Laura?
I don't know if this is accurate or anything, but I think I've heard that like when psychologists study like babies' faces when they're looking at other things, and also adults and animals also, smiles are not always indications of happy feelings. They can sometimes be indications of like a social, like, don't hurt me, I'm innocent, kind of like.
Okay, this is a different topic.
Okay.
If you bring this up here, then this Bodhicitta retreat has to extend to 10 years. Right? Then the smile, and how the smile is coming, which muscle is pressed, which muscle is pulled, right? What is that muscle known as? Then you have to study all these things. Right? Which part of the, no, it's not complicated. So it is about, for example, even the flower is very complicated. Flower is complicated, not complicated. Cheesecake is complicated, not complicated. It's very simple. Let somebody cook it and eat it, finish. But you can make it very complicated. You can study cheesecake for 10, 20 years, 40, 50 years. It's very easy. What I'm saying is that we should stick to the discussion that we are talking about. How the emotions arise. We are not talking about how these gestures, whether they resemble something or not. This is not the topic. We take for granted that what we are smiling is not the smile to push others. It's a smile as appreciation or the smile of feeling closeness. In this context, we're talking, if you break the context, it's innumerable. We cannot study all. Okay, let us not dabble too much. Okay, so what I'm saying is that when we know that it's coming from a mind, the point is that the same object gives rise to 3 different emotions. You agree with me or not? The same flower gives rise to 3 different emotions. Okay, so what is really happening is that the first time when you see it as a flower, as a pleasant feeling arises in you. Then when you see that it's the very repulsive chromosomes, you see in a way, in a very gross way, you see the emptiness of the earlier flower. When you see the emptiness of the earlier flower, the earlier feeling dissolves. Earlier feeling dissolves. Now, when you see the emptiness of the phenomena, no matter what, very unpleasant feeling, very nasty person. When you see the emptiness of this person, that person which I identify as a nasty person, that dissolves. The moment that dissolves, that uneasy feeling dissolves. That uneasy feeling dissolves. Okay. What you identified as a nasty person, what you identified as a nasty, very bad person, I don't like it. I hate you. Some people they can use these words very easily. I hate you. I hate him. I hate her. So the the person to whom you feel such a strong feeling of repulsion, when you subject this person to analysis, then you see that the person dissolves, person disappears, it's not really there. In other words, it's not really there from the object. The moment you feel that, instantly this irritation dissolves. This irritation dissolves. Yes, Howard?
I mean, I understand what you're saying, but in reality, though, even though that person dissolves, that dissolved person can continue to hurt you.
Oh, that's true.
and so it's not as if our feelings we can just cut off, because we can still feel enmity even.
In what way it hurts you?
Sorry?
In what way the person hurts you?
Because let's say there's someone who's antagonistic to you and they want to continue trying to wound you in one way or another, say.
Okay.
And then, okay, so you play a game and say, okay, I'm going to see that person just as a group of cells and chromosomes and things like that. But that group of cells and chromosomes can continue to do things that, for instance, can make your life unpleasant or something like that.
Okay, did you all follow what Howard is saying? Huh? Did you all follow what he's saying? It's a very important point made. Right? Okay, let's say. Okay. Somebody says that, Darcy, what are you doing? Just you are wasting the time of everybody else. What's a stupid guy? Then I feel hurt. Then you remind, no, Geshe, I think of him as a bunch of atoms. Right? Then I think of a bunch of atoms. And then the thought of that person dissolves. Instantly my irritation subsides. And then, okay, it's 1:30 sharp. Then we leave for the lunch. We leave for the lunch. And again the person comes. Right? The person continues to hurt me. Okay, so then, just as this is theoretical, practical is different. Theoretical, I'm sharing with you theoretical. The first part, I'm able to dissolve the problem or not? At least first episode, I'm able to dissolve the problem? Yes, apply the same thing to the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, all the seven. Second, then the person comes, again he sees me, and again he provokes me. Right? There also try to be able to see that. See, finally, the person hurting you is not a problem. The problem is that you feel hurt, that's a problem. If somebody slaps you, right? Why somebody slaps you is very bad. Because it pains me. When somebody slaps you, there's a bliss coming in you, you will ask the person, please slap me more. You getting it? It's not the slap, it's you feeling hurt, that's the problem. You feeling hurt is because of seeing that as objective real. This theory is a theory. Now what's the practical? What's the practical? For that matter, my friends, my poor friends, right? I'm so, enthusiastic, optimistic. You have to study emptiness. You have to realize emptiness. On the contrary, there are many people who say, emptiness, what are you talking about? Right? You study emptiness. For how long? For how many years? You will say 3 days. People will ask you how many years. And what is your answer? The 4th day or 3rd day? Today.
5, 6.
Don't say 5 or 6. How many days here today? 6.
5 days.
Huh? Okay, full day 6. Full day 5. Full day 5 full days. Okay. 5 full days, right? And people say, emptiness, how many years you study it? So people, what do you say? 5 days. And people laugh at us, right? So sometimes I'm being so positive, right? Making things so like will happen right now. In actuality, this is not reality. This is also one extreme. How I'm so enthusiastic, I'm so positive. This is also one a little bit extreme. And look, emptiness, it will take years and years. You have to, what are you talking about? It's about the Geshes, it's about the great teachers. This is also one extreme. Everybody can get emptiness. Only thing is that don't expect it too easy. Don't expect it to next to the impossible. Don't expect that also. We should be very realistic. Study, reflect, and meditate. And we will feel the effects gradually. And some of my friends, they study emptiness with me. For how long? For how many years? For how many years? For 10 days. Not years, 10 days. And then after a while, they go through life challenges. When they go through life challenges, they're very sincere. They try to apply this emptiness what they study in their life. And it doesn't work. It doesn't work. For how long? For how many years you meditated? It says 10 days. Right? It's a chronic illness. It's a chronic illness. Tuberculosis. How many of you know about tuberculosis? Tuberculosis, TB problem, right? Tuberculosis is nothing. Our illness, tuberculosis is you are ill for a few months, or few weeks, few months, or few years, 1 or 2 years. The illness of self-grasping ignorance is not few months, few weeks. How long we have been suffering from this self-grasping ignorance?
Endless.
Infinite lifetimes. This is a chronic illness. How can you expect that 10-day meditation will help you? Right? Even for tuberculosis, which is just about a few months problem, you have to take medicine for how long? You have to take the antibiotics for how long? Tell me. Huh? For how long you have to take the antibiotics?
6 months.
6 months, yes, doctor is there. You have to take for 6 months, not 10 days. Not 10 days. 30 days into 6. 30 days into 6. Right? This is for the illness that we suffer for a few months. And the illness that we are suffering from is a chronic. It's not just an illness, it's chronic. Self-grasping ignorance, chronic attachment, anger, jealousy. This is a chronic illness that we are suffering from since time immemorial till now. Antibiotics that we have to apply cannot work within 10 days. You getting it? You have to continue this practice. Okay, we'll stop here.
Paragati